my name's Miss Melissa, and this is Miss Kim, and
Hello.
This is the Fayette County Storytime.
Our first story today is The Ant and the Grasshopper. Ant was rich. His house was very grand, with many rooms, and the storeroom was his favorite. All through the spring and summer, he worked hard gathering things to eat for the winter, and every afternoon he went to the storeroom to count them. By June, he had 947 beans, 28 raisins, and a fine smelly wedge of yellow cheese. 945, he counted. 946, 947. Then he looked and took exactly 3 bites of cheese. "Delicious," he said, and began to count his raisins. One day, as he sat counting, he heard a noise. "Shh," he said, "I'm coming. I'm counting." The noise went on and on. Ant opened the door, and there on his lawn stood a grasshopper playing a fiddle. "Well, I never," said the ant. "Well, I always," said the grasshopper. "It's June, Ant. The sun is warm. The sky is blue. Come out and dance. I'll play for you." Said Ant. "You should be storing up food for the winter, not fiddling around, wasting time." All summer long, Ant worked hard. Every afternoon, he counted his beans and his raisins and his cheese. And all summer long, he heard Grasshopper playing his fiddle and singing. Sometimes the music got into Ant's head and made him lose count. 24, no, 26. Oh, drat that hoppergrass. September came. It was harvest time, and Ant added to his rich store. He had 604 kernels of corn, 72 peanuts, and a piece of ham bigger than he was. "Delicious and nutritious," he said. "Come, ye thankful creatures, come, sing a song of harvest home. All is safely gathered in ere the winter storms begin," sang Grasshopper, peeking in the window. "Oh, hush," said Ant, yanking down the shade. I like his shade. It's pretty clever. October came with bright leaves tumbling on a breeze that carried a promise of winter. Ant sat fidgeting at his desk, trying to add up his accounts. But his pen kept making swans out of the 2s and fat snowmen out of the 8s, and the numbers hopped around in his head, refusing to settle down. 604 kernels of corn gathered on a summer morn. No, no, no. 7 ounces of ham. Yes, ma'am. Oh, for heaven's sake, what is wrong with me? He heard a tap, tap, tapping and flung open the door. "Oh, Ant, let me in. There's a good fellow. It's getting cold, and I'm so hungry." "Ha," said Ant. "I knew it was you with your fiddle. Dee-do. I warned you. You danced and sang all summer, while respectful folk worked hard for a living, and it serves you right. Good night." And he slammed the door and went back to counting. Not very nice, is he? November blew in, cold and blustery. "Woo!" cried the wind, rattling the windows, while Ant paced back and forth. "I'm sure I don't know what's gotten into me," he muttered. He sat down by the fire, watching the flames dance up the chimney. "I wonder," said Ant. "I wish." And the clock struck 10. Bong, 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 bong. And Ant went to bed. But fragments of rhyme and wisps of music jangled about in his head, and he thrashed and kicked till the bedclothes were all a tangle. When at last he fell asleep, he dreamed he stood on a stage before a great crowd that shouted, "Play! Dance! Sing!" And he couldn't play a note or dance a dance. He opened his mouth to sing, but there wasn't one song in him, no song at all. "I can't! I'm an ant!" "Boo!" roared the crowd. "Boo!" The cold, hateful booing blew Ant right out of bed with a bump, and he woke up. The night had grown quiet. Too quiet, thought Ant. He ran to the door, and there on the step lay Grasshopper, barely visible under a thick layer of snow. "Grasshopper, is that you? What are you doing? Get up, go home." "Don't have a home," said Grasshopper, his teeth chattering. "No home?" exclaimed Ant. "I never heard of such a thing." After a moment, Ant dragged Grasshopper into the house, where he laid him by the fire in the second best peanut shell. "Cold," Grasshopper said, shivering. "Oh, yes, indeed, poor fellow. Have some hot cider," said Ant. But Grasshopper was shivering too hard to swallow. "Here," said Ant. "Here are 5 delicious beans and 3 bites of nutritious cheese and 2 more licious raisins." But Grasshopper was shivering too hard to eat. Ant tucked a dandelion down quilt around Grasshopper. "I didn't know," Ant said. "I had no idea. I didn't mean—" Grasshopper's eyes opened and he looked up at Ant. "Hello, Ant," he said. "Achoo!" "Bless you," said Ant, wiping the sneeze off his face. "Bless you," said Grasshopper. "Did I hear you mention beans and raisins?" All through the winter, Grasshopper stayed with Ant, playing and singing every evening when Ant was done counting. One evening, as the old year drew to a close, the 2 friends sat by the fire. 1,142, said Ant, closing the account book with a sigh. "Sometimes," he said, "sometimes I wish I could sing. Just a bit, you know." "Sing?" said Grasshopper. "Anyone can sing. But working hard and counting are splendid things. Why, you saved my life with your 11 jillion beans, raisins, and corn." 1,142 actually, said Ant, "including peanuts. But anyone can count." "Not me," said Grasshopper. He played a chord on his fiddle. "Do you know, 'Here we come a-waffling'?" He sang it 3 times through, and then rather shyly, and to tell you the truth, quite off key, Ant joined in. "Here we come a-waffling, with syrup and with jam. Here we come to dance a jig and eat a lot of ham. Pizza joy come to you, made of pickles, mice, and glue. And we wish you and squish you a happy new year. And we wish you a happy new year." "I wish I could sing like you," said Ant. "I love the way you sing," said Grasshopper. "I wish I could count." "Oh, Grasshopper," said Ant, "everybody counts." Pretty good story, I think. Did you get what he meant at the end of the story? Everybody is important. Everybody counts. I like that. Take it away, Miss Melissa.
Now, are you ready to do some counting with me? All right, so each one of you have numbers, and we're going to count the holes in the cheese. And when we get to your number, I'm going to put it up here, okay? First one is 1.
1.
You want to count with me when I do this? Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
Upside down.
What's next? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who has 5? Upside down. It's upside down, sweetie. What comes next?
Good job.
6.
That's how
What?
old I am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Help us count.
Come on, help us count. What comes after 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
And I'm hoping the kids at home are helping us count too, don't you? Miss Kim?
Yes, I hope so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, thank you for helping counting with me and placing the right number with the right dots.
Okay. How Chipmunk got his stripes. Do you have any ideas how he got his stripes?
No, but I actually made my hamster be a hamster.
Okay.
Yep, it's a hamster.
Well, let's see if we can find out how that chipmunk got his stripes.
Yeah, he has a long tail too.
One autumn day long ago, Bear was out walking. As he walked, he began to brag. I am Bear. I am the biggest of all the animals. Yes, I am. I am Bear. I am the strongest of all the animals. Yes, I am. I am Bear. I am the loudest of all the animals. Yes, I am. I am Bear. I am Bear. I can do anything. Yes, I can.
Well, for one thing, he's not the biggest animal. He's basically the biggest animal on land. The whale shark is the biggest animal.
Oh, good piece of information there, Zane. As soon as Bear said those words, a little voice spoke up from the ground. Can you really do anything? Bear looked down. He saw a little brown squirrel standing on his hind legs. Can you really do anything? Brown Squirrel asked again. Bear stood up very tall. I am Bear. I can do anything. Yes, I can. Can you tell the sun not to rise tomorrow morning? Brown Squirrel asked. I have never tried that before, but I am Bear. I can do that. Yes, I can.
We can't.
Bear turned west to face the sun. It was the time when the sun always goes down. Bear stood up to his full height and spoke in a loud voice. Sun, do not come up tomorrow. At his words, the sun began to disappear behind the hills. You see, Bear said. Sun is afraid of me. He is running away. But will the sun come up tomorrow? Brown Squirrel asked. No, Bear answered. The sun will not come up. Then Bear turned to face east, the direction where the sun always used to come up. He sat down. Little Brown Squirrel sat down beside him. All that night they did not sleep. All that night Bear kept saying these words. The sun will not come up. The sun will not come up. But as the night went on, Little Brown Squirrel began to say something too. He said these words. The sun is going to rise. Oh, the sun is going to rise. Oh. All through the night they sat there. One by one, other animals gathered around them. Fox and wolf, deer and moose, rabbit and porcupine, hawk and owl, otter and beaver, frog and turtle, and even the little mice came. They wanted to see who would be right, Bear or Brown Squirrel. This is what the other animals heard. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. Oh, the sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. Oh, what do you think's going to happen?
It's gonna rise rise.
You think the sun will rise?
I just see it.
Yeah? You see it coming? Finally, it was just before dawn, the time when the sun always used to come up. Look, said Turtle, a little bit of red is starting to show. Yes, said Owl, I believe the sun will rise today. Bear only chanted louder, the sun will not come up, humph. But right next to him, little brown squirrel piped up, the sun is going to rise, oh! And the sun came up. The birds sang their welcoming songs. The bright light of the new day spread over the land. Everyone was happy except for one animal. That animal was Bear. He sat there with his head down and a grumpy look on his face. The happiest animal of all was little brown squirrel. The sun came up, he chirped. The sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up. Brown squirrel was so happy. He forgot what his wise old grandmother had told him when he was very young. Brown squirrel, his grandmother had said, it is good to be right about something, but when someone else is wrong, it is not a good idea to tease him. Now little brown squirrel began to tease Bear. Bear is foolish, the sun came up. Bear is silly, the sun came up. Bear is stupid, the sun... Whomp! Bear's big paw came down on little brown squirrel, pinning him to the ground. Bear leaned over and opened his huge mouth. Yes, Bear growled, the sun did come up. Yes, I do look foolish, but you will not live to see another sunrise. You will not ever tease anyone else again because I, Bear, am going to eat you. Brown squirrel thought fast. You are right to eat me, he said. I was wrong to tease you. I would like to say, I am sorry before you eat me. But you are pressing down on me so hard, I cannot say anything. I cannot say anything at all. I cannot even breathe. If you would lift up your paw just a little bit, then I could take a deep breath and apologize before you eat me. That is a good idea, Bear said. I would like to hear you apologize before I eat you. So Bear lifted up his paw, but instead of apologizing, Brown Squirrel ran. He ran as fast as he could toward the pile of stones where he had his home. He had a tunnel under the stones and a nice warm burrow deep underground. Little Brown Squirrel's grandmother stood there in the door waiting for him. Hurry, Brown Squirrel, she called. Hurry, hurry. Little Brown Squirrel dove for the door to his home, but Bear was faster than he looked. He grabbed for Little Brown Squirrel with his big paw. Bear's long, sharp claws scratched Brown Squirrel's back from the top of his head to the tip of his tail. But Brown Squirrel got away, deep down in his burrow where Bear couldn't get to him. Brown Squirrel curled up next to his grandmother and slept all winter while those scratches on his back healed. When spring came again, Little Brown Squirrel came out of his hole and looked at himself. There were long pale stripes all the way down his back where Bear had scratched him. He was a brown squirrel no longer. He was now Chipmunk, the striped one. That is how Chipmunk got his stripes. Ever since then, Chipmunk has been the first animal to get up every morning. As the sun rises, he scoots to the top of the tallest tree to sing his song. The sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up. And ever since then, Bear has been the last animal to get up. He doesn't like to hear Chipmunk's song. It reminds him, as it reminds us all, that no one, not even Bear, can do everything. Do you believe that story? That's how the chipmunk got his stripes?
Yeah.
This is what we call a fable. It's kind of a story that gets passed down from one generation to the next. kind of a made-up story of how these things happen.
Well, each week we like to have a lesson to go along with our stories, and each month, I should say, and this month it is all about numbers and number recognition. So the library will have worksheets available to pick up that you can work with your child in counting their numbers or recognizing their numbers to get them ready for kindergarten. Because I think counting is a lot of fun, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So come on down to the Fayette County Library. Let us know that you've seen Storytime and pick up some worksheets, and happy learning.
Bye.